Today's question is, when will mortgage rates drop?
$1 million question. Can we get to my favourite bit? There's always an upside.
There isn't, and there is. There is. Right. Hi, I'm Adam.
I'm Jess.
And we are for the Landlords.com. We have a process for helping landlords get more money, their time back, and less hassle. Is that right?
We do indeed.
Yeah, sounds about right.
About right.
Okay, cool. So, try to do a weekly video called Adam Asks, where we talk about topical things related to property investment and being a landlord. Today's question is, when will mortgage rates drop?
The literal $1 million question.
I'm not really fussed too much about the base rate. We're thinking about product rates. Do you want to start off, or shall I? Because I've got an opinion on this.
The honest answer is no one really knows, do they?
No. We haven't got a clue.
We haven't got a clue. Well, we can probably put it. We've got a clue, but we can't be 100% certain. The Bank of England committee probably decide. Well, they make their collective decision on the day, don't they? I'm sure they've got their opinion for the weeks and months beforehand, but it's one of those things where it's always on a knife edge. Will it or won't it go up or down? Of course, we're talking about mortgage rates. I appreciate some of our landlords, some of you guys won't have mortgages. A little bit more about that towards the end of this video, because I think you're in the driving seat. But if you are a landlord that wants to get a mortgage and is leveraged maybe now, or looking to buy more properties and are going to rely on a mortgage, then this is going to be of key importance to you. So what we're really talking about is not just the Bank of England base rate, it's product rates.
Yeah, and so I mean, the base rate is going to go up once, maybe twice before the end of the year.
We're told.
Yeah, we expect that. I think you can probably, read enough news articles out there by respected news sources that they'll tell you the same thing. But we are hearing that product rates will start to fall towards the end of the year and into early 2024. Because let's be honest, it's unsustainable for the Bank of England to keep increasing the base rate, mortgage rates keep going up, because landlords will essentially keep putting their rents up then. And that's, unfair and unrealistic.
There's an equilibrium to everything, and if rates keep going up, rent has to go up, other things have to go up. It's not just rates and mortgages, of course, it's business loans and all sorts of things as well. So yeah, keeping the equilibrium. The way, when we say we are told and we can see in news articles, the absolute, the thing you should really be looking at is what product rates, mortgage product rates are doing now. So let's say what a 2-year fix is versus what a 5-year fix is. And when a 5-year fix becomes more expensive than a 2-year and vice versa, you can see which way the market is predicted to go. So when we're saying that Adam thinks 1 or 2 more base rate rises is predicted, and that's fed into what the market rates are telling you for a 5-year fix, for example. Of course, they could be slightly wrong. It might be 3 or 4, but it's probably not going to be 6, because that would just be something pushing against the market that the market just can't take. Anyway, that's
true. And
that's roughly what the
inflation
tea leaves are saying.
It's been reported that inflation has dropped a bit.
Correct.
Been a bit quicker than they expected. I read that a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest with you, I think it's being widely reported now that inflation is expected to drop significantly throughout the remainder of the year. And we all know when inflation's under control, the base rate will come back down.
Yeah. Can we get to my favourite bit?
Yeah, I was going to say.
My favourite bit, the happy bit.
The upside.
The upside. Because there's always an upside to everything, isn't there? There's always an upside.
There isn't, and there is. There is an upside.
So of course there might be some landlords, and I'm one of them. I've got properties that are making a lot less money now than they used to, and
you know what? You don't even need to be
sad.
You don't even need to be a landlord. You might just be someone who's got some money, you've inherited some money. You want to buy a really nice house to live in.
True.
You could benefit from this because you're not competing with another buyer who's relying on getting a big mortgage right now. So it's not all about being a greedy landlord and, you could just be someone who's making a smart decision to invest in property for yourself. However, if you have cash to invest right now, there's deals to be had.
Absolutely. So we are we're the UK's #1 property sourcer as a business. ForTheLandlords.com is the UK's #1 property sourcer. We've bought over 1,200 houses for clients, for landlords now. We know a thing or two, and we've got a constant pipeline coming towards us of property deals. Let's call them those. And we've got some key metrics. Adam, have you ever spoken to Adam about what they are? There's only 3 or 4 numbers you put down on a post-it note. Of course, there's loads more numbers around it, but basically what we're buying it for, what we think it's worth, and what the rent is, so you can work out the yield as well. Some other things as well. But those numbers are getting stronger and stronger. The people who are worried about this, and sometimes it's an unnecessary worry, sometimes it's a very real worry. Like I say, I've got properties that aren't making as much money as they are. I wish they were, but they're not. But the upside for me is, okay, well, I've got a proportion of my portfolio that's looking a little bit weak compared to how it was for the last, say the last decade. That's ridiculous because rates were where they were. But it's looking weak to where I think it will be 2 years from now. I think that portion of the properties that's not making as much as it could do will be back to where I expect it to be. The 10 years before, when it was 2%, was a bonus. So that's going to come good. But right now, there's a stream of properties coming towards us that are cheap, because the people who are worried aren't buying properties. Some of them are selling properties, which, supply and demand means that we can buy some cheap stuff, and we're buying some cheap stuff.
Yeah. When people procrastinate, it's easier to invest.
Exactly.
It just is, and let's be honest, regardless of whatever state the economy is ever in, property is always the safest investment vehicle, really.
Yep.
You'll always get a mortgage, pretty much.
Can't get a mortgage on Bitcoin.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the message is, anything you've got, hang tight. 18 months or so, it'll be a very different picture, and progressively, so as you get there, it'll get easier and easier. Maybe for the next 6 months, it'll get a little bit worse. If you're sat on a pile of cash, in the bank and watching it going south and inflation's eroding it away and whatnot, property's a safe bet, and we've got a load of good deals, and fill your boots, which is what I'm doing and what lots of our landlords are doing. So that's the upside of it there. Definitely.
If you want to find out more about what we do, we run every couple of weeks a Zoom, what we call a Landlord Success call. It's a group call. You can get all your questions answered, anything property related. There'll be a link below to book a place onto that. So it'd be nice to meet some of you there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look forward to it.
And like the video.
Thank you.
Share it.
Subscribe
to the channel, and keep watching.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks a lot. I hope that was useful.
Cheers.
Bye for now.